Monday morning. Oh, man, it's cold. Put the heat on. It is the second week of April, and it is freezing. It snowed a couple times this weekend. All right, man, so we're back. We're gonna start making these videos. Not sure what today's about.
Now tonight we are so excited to introduce our first guest. He's been on our show before, and he's here again to lend his expertise. Please welcome celebrity vocal coach, James Lugo.
Yeah! Hey everyone, we are back. It's like some bizarre cooking show. Anyway, yeah, just kind of wanted to check in. We haven't, like as though my multiple personalities are actually filming this. I haven't made a video in a long time. I don't know why. Just been going, through the life thing. And I go through, it's weird, I go through phases where I just don't want to, do this kind of thing. But we're back. So today's video is all about what's been happening here, I guess. The upgrade. We're now officially Pro Tools 2018.1. And the operating system is High Sierra, and we've got, Native Instruments Ultimate 11 and Keyscape, and basically a part of, the rig that we had prior to this setup was about a 6-year-old install. I had just been cloning drives, and drives were dying, and then I'd grab the clone drive and I would clone that and then work off that, and then when that would start to get weird, I would then work off the cloned clone drive. So it became, we were working on a photocopy, and it was becoming apparent that things weren't going so well here. So we did the whole switch over, which I guess. Personally, I was intimidated by it because I'm not the greatest tech guy. I'm good with computers as long as everything's running good. Once things start, getting weird, sometimes I struggle, and then obviously I had never done a full install from scratch. So it took 6 days. The firmware update doesn't like to do that. It doesn't want to update on these Macs to go to High Sierra. We figured it out. It took us 3 days, but it's up and running now. I also bought a couple of the solid state drives, and those are nice. Those are really nice. What's really weird after all of what we went through with new hard drives, new operating system, new Pro Tools, new everything, update everything, it still has some of the same glitches it had before. So I don't know what that's about, but it's all right. If you work on Pro Tools every day, you learn how to just kind of finagle your Pro Tools rig to do what you needed to do. So that's it. And a part of what had instigated this, apart from it just hey, just making sure I didn't check the audio. I haven't done this in a while. I think I've got everything on, right? Yeah, okay. A part of what instigated this was that we had a number of pop records to do everything, write, produce, record, track, mix, the whole works. And I started really getting myself into pop writing and pop beat making, and there was some software I wanted, and I couldn't install anything because I was still on Mountain Mavericks. I was on Mavericks here, and Pro Tools 11, so things weren't working. So I said, what, let's just knock the whole house down and rebuild it from scratch. Well, same computer, but you know what I mean. And I'm glad I did it. And we got, I was on Native Instruments 10. We ended up going 11 Ultimate. And a lot of people are like, oh, you don't really need Ultimate. It's kind of overkill. But my assistant, Johnny, who we worked back and forth sometimes from his house to here. He's got Ultimate 11, so I'm like, well, I'll just get Ultimate 11, and then I have everything. And I'm glad I did. There's some things in there I really like, and I really like Native Instruments. And then started getting into like the synth programming. We were listening to a lot of Shawn Mendes and Lady Gaga and stuff, and I ended up going with Serum. And that's a great program. What a great program. Wow. I mean, not only does it sound great, but it's got to be the best synth for somebody learning how to program a wavetable synth, because everything's laid out, because I spent like 2 days on it, like totally getting the concepts down and, learning the basics and going through all the presets and, figuring out how to program this thing and what it all does. And then I went back to Massive, which is the one in Native, and it's not laid out nearly as nicely. It's kind of like the difference between the whatever it is, the Pro Tools EQ3 versus the Fab Filter Pro Q2 or whatever. Like the Fab Filter is like beautifully laid out. It's big. You can see what's going on. Then you go to the EQ3 and it's fine. It does the job, but it's not laid out nearly as nice, and it doesn't sound nearly as good. And it's cold in here, but it's like 6 in the morning. So then I'm in the I buy the setup here. I have my 88 weighted keyboard here, and then I bought the Native Control 61 that runs Native Instruments. And the other thing that I did that was very cool was I figured out how to do screen sharing here with my laptop. So now I can actually run this computer from the laptop, which means that I can do all of my songwriting and beat making and programming and lyric writing like this. I don't have to keep turning, because it's that turning back and forth. You just can't work like that. It's not even a matter of, oh, this is a pain in the butt, or you just can't work like that, because you hit record, you turn around. By the time you turn around, especially for me, because I'm not an accomplished pianist, by the time I turn around, it throws me off, and then I'm always like, I don't know, when I start tracking piano and stuff, I'm not, it wasn't working. So now I've got screen sharing here on the laptop, and then I can also run Native here, so I can run Pro Tools. I can run everything here, and I can run Native here. So this is really a great, I don't have this on. Where am I? Let me turn this on. I've got lyrics taped to it. Let's see. It's booting up. It's got lyrics taped to it. Ooh, look at that. Boy, this thing lights up like crazy. It's like its own little mini computer. There it is. Wow, what a procedural light. Yeah, so that's the 61 key, and then the 88 down here. So, so this is all these changes that are going on here. I don't know anything else. Oh, so I was able, because originally at one point I had put the keyboard over here, so then I moved my pedal board out, and it just wasn't working for me having the 61 key, because I had the 61 key here so that I could work like this and then run Pro Tools, right? But that just stunk, because the keyboard came out to here, and I was always kind of bumping into it. And then the 88 here, there's literally like that much room to walk between them. So I said, let me just get my double stand going on, which I did, and then do the 61 here, and then I was able to put my pedal board back. So this setup is the best I've ever had. And then I'm in Guitar Center, And this dude that works there, we're talking about native instruments, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever heard of Keyscape?" I'm like, "No, what is it?" He says, "It's it's by Spectrasonics. It's a program with all the they call them time pianos, like electric pianos and Rhodes and Wurlitzers, and it's got pianos and organs and all that." He says that it's it's just unbelievable. So I said, all right. So I check it out. I watched the video, which is their promo, which is like 30 minutes long, and they have like 6 or 8. Sorry about my nose. I'm like, it is so cold, man. They have like 6 or 8 of the best piano players in the world. Guys like that, Greg Gaines and all that. And basically they're going through all these patches. It's kind of like the Kemper for piano or keyboard. I don't know what it is, but there's some voodoo in there. But he's playing all the hits. They're playing all the hits that are associated with these famous pianos and famous keyboards and organs and Fender Rhodes and Wurlitzers and clavinets and all that. So it's all Steely Dan and Elton John and Stevie Wonder and, Phil Collins and, minute by minute, all that stuff. At the end of that video, I was like, all right, this program is cool. I like the program. Great. But I really want to learn how to play. And that started me on another journey. I'm sorry, I don't know what's up with me. I literally just woke up, and we camped this week. Maybe I'm so cold. But I want to learn how to play piano. So this starts me on the next journey, which is like, so it started with like, I just want to, get better at my pop production to, I watched this dude make beats, this guy out here named Sal, and I noticed, I'm like, well, he's really a good keyboard player too. It's not like, he's not just like, just going, dun, dun, dun. I don't know, like his fingers, the way they moved, and it started me on this whole thing of wanting to study, and I ended up setting up a little piano setup in the house, bought a pair of Yamaha SH8s and a little Mackie board, and realizing that I've never used it. I have GarageBand on my laptop, so I fire up GarageBand, and I really was enjoying. I enjoy GarageBand. It's cool to be on something other than Pro Tools too. It's kind of fun, but I fire it up, and I buy a little keyboard, and I was starting to like play a little bit in there, and I ended up I got Keyscapes, because Keyscape will run on GarageBand as I guess an AU, Apple, whatever. So that was all happening, and I had a little keyboard, and I ended up getting a deal through my channels on a Yamaha CP4, the basic. Yamaha's like top of the line stage piano, and man, that thing is killer. It's got wooden keys, graded action. It feels like, it's about as close to a grand piano feel as you can get, and it's basically similar to Keyscape. It's got like really sophisticated modeling. And it's sample based somehow, but it's not like the samples go like, I don't know. It's really accurate, and they have all the 73 Rhodes is just killer on that, and they have Rhodeses and Wurlitzers, and their main piano is a big Yamaha Grand. It sounds great. So I start to try to hunt down a piano instructor, and I find a dude here named Jody Nardone, and he is very cool, and he's very much into a lot of the music that I'm into, and he's into Steely Dan and the Stevie Wonder and Elton John and a lot of that kind of music. So I've started with him, So a lot of this. So the thing I did realize is, and this is the new one. Sounds like the dreidel song. What I realized is for 30 years, so this is how I play piano. He calls it Imagine piano. Like you play like John Lennon played an Imagine. It's a seesaw, right? It's like, and all you do with the left hand is play octaves. It's all I did for like 30 years. And now that I'm working with him and I'm realizing, like, my left, like, this is amazing. That's a huge improvement. They're still flamming. They're not quite locked in, but I realized my left hand doesn't do anything. Like, it wouldn't play scales, it wouldn't play chords. All it really did was octaves. So it's been a mad dash to get all that stuff happening. But I've been studying with him, and I'm just psyched. I started learning his songs, and I was learning Love Song by Sarah Bareilles, and my friend who's getting married said, "Oh man," he saw me, like, I shot a video of me playing it on Wednesday, which was like, I couldn't even do it. And the next day I was like, he's like, "Wow," he says, "I can't believe like how much you improved in one day." I didn't tell him I played for 4 hours straight. I played, my wrists were like broken. But he said, "Hey," because I'm going to his wedding in like 3 weeks. He's like, "Hey, do you want to play my wife-to-be's favorite song, sing and play it at the wedding, Benny and the Jets?" So I'm like, let me make sure I'm still recording. So I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man, of course, right?" But so then I start learning Benny and the Jets, which I have it pretty good, but I can only play it the way I play. And Jody showed me like where's it? I'm mixing up songs. I'm mixing metaphors. So I'm not going to be able to like start to incorporate any of the stuff I'm learning, and I'm not going to be able to play Benny and the Jets correctly for the wedding because I don't have the time. Benny and the Jets could take me 6 months to really get. But it's one of those things like, I keep at it diligently, and 6 months or a year I'll be able to play. I just want to play like stuff like Peg and Minute by Minute. I really like the Rhodes. And, yeah. So that's where I'm at. So this is grandeur. I really love grandeur. I've been teaching with it. That's one thing that's weird is that little wobble. I think from all the years of teaching with Mini Grand, the Protools piano, which is, I guess, some sort of a synthetic piano or synthesizer. I don't know what it is. It doesn't sound as inspiring, but it doesn't have that tuning thing that all these other ones have. This isn't bad. It seems like the tuning's a little worse to my ear on that Yamaha CP4. I'm going to look into it. But like on Keyscape, you can hear it too. So anyway, so that's where I'm at. That's really where I'm at, man. Just trying to, this learning piano and getting into the pop music is probably the most inspired I've been musically since really wanting to learn how to sing. which was a long time ago, like when I really got hooked on singing. And prior to that was obviously I was hooked on guitar, and I got hooked on, you know, Alex Lifeson and Yngwie Malmsteen, and, you know, when I was a little kid, Ace Frehley and all that stuff, and Leonard Skinner. So, this is the first time, and I really am inspired. It's got me doing my inversions. Anyway, so that's where I'm at, and videos are coming. We're going to get on a stream of this, you know, and the reason I say this is because I have like 7,000 people have subscribed to this, and a lot of people, you know, they dig these videos. It's fun for them. Maybe, you know, they learn something, or it sparks them, or they start teaching me stuff. They hit me up and they're like, hey, man, you know, if you did this that way, it would be better. And I'd be like, oh, I do it, and I'd be like, oh, he's right. So I think it's a good thing, and I don't know why I always kind of struggle to be consistent with this. I guess that's going to be for me to figure out at some point, or not. I don't know. Maybe it's just like this. But like I said in the video from this past week, Casey Neistat, who's the biggest vlogger in the world, who I follow more from like a filmmaking aspect, which I'm not even like in his dimension. He's out there. I mean, he's amazing. But he took a couple of months off too, and he's pretty steady. He's got, you know, like 9 million subscribers now. But you know, he said he just needed a break, or he said that he had tried an endeavor and had failed, and he just needed kind of, I guess, to go into the cave and lick his wounds. I think that happens to me sometimes, you know, like life just kicks you in the butt and you just can't sit in front of a camera. I guess life didn't particularly kick me in the butt, but, you know, things just, you know, work gets busy, kids are busy, you know, and then you get your own stuff. And then with me also, all this health and weight loss thing. Like now I'm really on path again with it. But I've struggled this last 6 months, you know, since losing the 100 pounds. You know, a lot of people condemn using the scale as a barometer for your success with weight loss. And I have not found that to be the case. There's nothing better than the scale. The scale tells the tale, as they say. And I'm suspect of fat people that are afraid of the scale. I tell you, that's just my opinion. And I know a lot about this. Trust me. And I've worked with a lot of people, and I've watched a lot of people, and I've watched myself. So we're back on the scale. And even though I'm lifting weights, and obviously I'm going to gain muscle, it's still a good barometer. So here we go. We're back. I think that was, I don't even know if this is what I wanted to talk about. Career evolution, was getting back to videos, rolling with the changes. The singer-songwriter demos. Yeah, we all know what that's a hoot. That's a real hoot in life, making demos for singers, songwriters. But yeah, so that's it, man. So that's where I'm at, man. Career evolution. So I guess maybe we'll call the video that. It's like we had to go all the way to the end to figure out the beginning, right? But I guess that's life. See, at the end he goes up to this A every time, so I keep getting stuck on what to do there. But anyway, yeah, we got this. Yeah, what a great song, man. All right, kids. Like and subscribe. There's some greasy hair under this hat.